Okay, we'll start with the prayer. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Wonderful. Thank you, Naresh Prabhu, for joining. I'll open this. Just give me 1 second. I'll open database here. Beautiful. We are on chapter 9 and we are on the section drinking Charnamrit. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
Beautiful. Thank you all. Happy New Year, first of all, and very grateful for your association in 2025 and looking forward for 2026 to help each other go towards Krishna. So very grateful again. We are reading Drinking Charnamrit. Charnamrit is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before dressing, scented with perfumes and flowers, and the water comes gliding down through his lotus feet and is collected and mixed with yogurt. In this way, this Charnamrit not only becomes very tastefully flavored, but also has tremendous spiritual value. As described in Padma Purana, even a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other words, even one who has never done any pious activities will become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks Charnamrit that is kept in the temple. This is really deep actually. Imagine a person indirectly has no spiritual connection in a way, does not perform any charity, does not do any devotional service. That is how powerful Charnamrit is. So if just drinks Charnamrit, we recite this beautiful prayer, Akala Mrityu. Yeah, very beautiful. I'll share that and then we'll read the meaning on that. Let me see if I'm sharing the screen, not this one. Okay. Can you see the screen now? It shows Google. Is that, can you see that?
Yes, Prabhu.
So here it says, this is the beautiful mantra which we recite before actually taking Charnamrit. It says, Akala Mrityu Haranam Sarve Vyadi Vinashanam Vishnu Padotakam Pitva Shirashadharayamiham. Which means, It is a powerful word primarily used when you use Charnamrit. And what is that? Invokes a protection against ultimate death and disease. The most common form is this mantra which is being chanted here. The even if person who actually forget that there is something called as death, but one actually just drinks Charnamrit every day, he can actually be liberated and attain the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That is so powerful. So that is why it is a very important part of devotional service that one should take Charnamrit. So it says, I would never been able to. In the temple, it is a custom that Charnamrit be kept in a big pot. The devotees who come to visit and offer respect to the deity take 3 drops of Charnamrit very submissively and feel themselves happy in transcendental bliss. We will read the next one, which is smelling the incense or flowers offered to the deity. In Hari Bhakti Subodhya, there is a statement about the incense which is offered in the temple. When devotees smell the good flavor of incense which is offered to the deity, they thus become cured of poisonous effect of material contamination. One becomes cured of snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs. The explanation of this verse is that there is an herb found in jungles that expert persons know how to use to revive the consciousness of one who is bitten by a snake. Simply by smelling that herb, one becomes immediately relieved of poisonous effects of the snake bite. The same example is applicable when a person comes to visit the temple and smells the incense offered to the deity. He is cured at that time from all material contamination. So when we talk about why we do what we do, this is a very important chapter which is explaining those aspects. So when we actually offer the arti, the first thing which we offered is we offer the incense, we offer agarbatti first. And now it gives the reason if one actually smells the fragrance of the agarbatti and then the flower which is offered to Lord. Very interestingly, in America, you don't have fragrance in flowers, but in India you do have. Even roses, if you get, there are very few roses in America which has actually some kind of fragrance. But in India, most of the flowers have fragrance. So there we apply different kind of oils to actually smell that fragrance. So if one actually does that, that actually even remove the poisonous effect of this material life, as good as when someone is bit by the snake and he's cured. That's how the effect is for that. Any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the deity: fruit, flowers, incense, etc. And we all remember from our childhood, whenever we would go to temple, we will always carry something to, for the Lord. And that is a very important practice one should go. Whether one should take fruit, flowers, incense, etc. If one cannot offer anything, in cash something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come into the morning to visit the temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or one morsel of flour can be offered. It is a regulative principle that one should not go to see a saintly person or deity in the temple without any offering. The offering may be very humble or it may be priceless. Even a flower, a little fruit, a little water, whatever is possible must be offered. Devotee comes to offer something to the deity in the morning, he is sure to smell the good flavor of the incense, and then at once he will become cleansed of the poisonous effect of material existence. It is stated in Tantra Shastra, if the smell of the garland that was offered to the deity in the temple enters into the person's nostrils, immediately his bondage to sinful activities becomes cleared. And this is not exertion, that talk about, oh, yeah, but that it's a truth that this really works because this is being spoken in scriptures. Now, that is a different story that one may still continue the sinful activities, so the fruits of those results will come. And even if one has no sinful activities, still by smelling such remnants of flowers, one can advance from Mayavadi to devotee. What is the difference between Mayavadi? They think that the Lord doesn't have a form. Lord is Bhagwan is like a light. That is Mayavad. But devotee is like the Lord has such a beautiful form. He plays the flute. He stands in the Tribangi form with all the gopas playing that. So there are several instances of this. A prime one being the advancement of 4 Kumaras. Very nice. So 4 Kumaras, they were actually impersonal Mayavadis. And they came. How many of us know the stories of 4 Kumaras? Even if it no, just I can narrate it.
I, I don't know, Prabhu.
Okay, Natasha, do you
So,
know that?
a little bit, Prabhuji. The fourth Sanata, Sanaka, something, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Sananda. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So
So
these are the four Kumaras who
they
are actually.
curse, right, Prabhuji? They curse
Huh?
Jaya and Vijaya, the Dwarapalaks of Lord
Yes,
Vishnu, right?
that's the
So,
story. Correct, 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 correct. So let me fill you in and add something on what you said. Speaking about, so Lord Brahma, the first four sons of Lord Brahma are four Kumaras. So when they took the birth, um, they said we have nothing. Why did Brahma was given the responsibility to populate this world. So the first children who came, four Kumaras, they said we have nothing to do with creating a population. We want to practice renunciation. And they took the blessing from the Lord that they took the blessing from the Lord that we don't want to grow above the age of 5. Why? Because when you grow up, even if the opposite sex desire is not there, but the hormones get created and there is an attraction between men and women. So they said we don't want to ever grow up above the age of 5 because we want to remain celibate. And that's how they remain at the age of 5 only. So one time, and they were very powerful sages actually, but they were Mayavadi. They were thinking about what is Mayavadis. Basically, Lord is not a person, but it is a light. So one time they came to Vaikuta. And when they came to Vaikuta, Jay and Vijay, who are the gatekeepers, they stopped them. They said, "Who are you?" First and foremost thing, these are 5-year boys. They are naked, they don't wear anything, they are completely renounced. So they were like, "Oh, you know what? We don't know you. How can you go just like that?" So they became angry and they cursed Jay Vijay, who are actually the gatekeepers of this thing. So the moment they recited the curse, Lord Vishnu came from inside. And Lord Vishnu's lotus feet is always covered by as tulsi leaf. So they, when the Lord came, the fragrance of tulsi leaf actually entered in their nostrils. Just by smelling the fragrance of that tulsi, they were transformed from Mayavadis and they became devotee. So they, from impersonal form of the Lord, they accepted the personal form of the Lord. And long story short, the Jay and Vijay were cursed that they will have to come take the birth in material world, and they have to take three births. So in the first birth, they came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. In second birth, they came as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And in the third birth, they came as Shishupal and Dantavakra. So now they begged from these four Kumaras that please, we don't want to leave the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Please give us some way out. So four Kumaras blessed them, saying that okay, because we cannot take the curse back, but in every birth you take, Lord will come and actually save you from that. And you see actually Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Lord Vishnu appeared as Narsingadev and Varahadev and liberate them. In the next life, he came as Lord Ram to kill them. And in the third birth, Lord Vishnu as actually Krishna himself appeared. And that's the power of smelling the fragrance. That just they smell the fragrance of the tulsi leaf, which is none other than fruits and flower, they became devotee. So from the above verse, it appears that the Mayavadis are impersonal, more or less contaminated, they are not pure. And it is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, one who has not washed off all the reaction of sinful activities cannot be a pure devotee. Because definitely this is pure means has to be someone has to be pure, free from all contamination. So one may say, so what should I do? Should I not practice devotional life? No. Like for an example, when the patient is sick, not that oh I'm sick, I'm useless, I don't want to do anything. Doctor says you keep taking the medicine along with your life, whatever you are practicing. So the person takes the medicine Though he has a disease, slowly gets cured by taking that medicine. So similar way, we have been given this beautiful Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is nothing other than, which is none other than actually a medicine for this Kali Yuga. When one takes, actually the sinful reactions disappear, and then the fruit of love bhakti appears in our heart. So not that one should think about, oh, I will become pure and then only I'll practice devotional service. No, that's wrong. Pure devotee has no more doubts about the supremacy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus he engage himself in Krishna consciousness and devotional service. So one may say, are we pure devotees? If I say no, then you'll ask, what are the symptoms of pure devotee? And what are the symptoms of someone who is not a pure devotee? Very simple. A pure devotee chants 24/7. His tongue cannot stop chanting the name of Krishna. For us, it's a struggle. Oh, 16 rounds, I have to finish. Not that I want to do it. What is that? Oh, I have to finish 16 rounds. So that is the difference between a pure devotee and this, right? Um, a pure devotee, as we discussed about that one. A similar statement is this in Agastya Samhita: just to purify the impurities of our nostrils, we should try to smell the remnants of flowers offered to Krishna in the temple. Any questions or comments in this section?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. Naresh Prabhu, you are good?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm good, Prabhu.
Okay. Let's go to the next session, which is touching the deity. In the Dharmottara, there is a statement about touching the lotus feet of the Lord. It said only a person who is initiated as a Vaishnava is executing devotional service and Krishna consciousness has a right to touch the body of deity. Again, this is based on the principles. You see, in the temple, there are certain standards which are set. Not anyone and everyone can just jump onto the altar and start worshipping the deity. No. So one has to be in the process for a good period of time, having a guru, and ultimately taking the diksha from the guru is allowed to go there. And it's not that, oh, that person becomes the great devotee. No. That person who is the pujari, when he actually offers diya, when he offers agarbati, whenever he performs aarti, he does it on behalf of everyone. So he is actually the servant of all the devotees who are there in the temple. Not that pujari means he is great. Or when pujari offers the blessings to all the devotees, not that he himself is great, that's why he is able to do it. If one is thinking that way, then he is not qualified to be a pujari. The pujari actually does everything on behalf of spiritual master, and specifically in the mood of the servant to the visitors or devotees who are coming to take the blessing. And that should be the mood. Right? In India, there was agitation during Gandhi's political movement because the low-born class of men like street sweepers and chandalas are prohibited, according to Vedic system, from entering the temple. Due to their unclean habits, they are prohibited, but at the same time, they are given other facilities so they may be elevated to highest grade of devotional service by association with pure devotees. A man born in any family is not bad, but he must be cleansed. That cleansing process must be adopted. Gandhi wanted to make them clean simply by stamping them with the fictitious name Harijana, children of God. And so there was a great tug of war between the temple owners and Gandhi followers. We know about this thing. The caste system, which is not actually a varnashram dharma which Krishna created. Krishna never created a caste system. Krishna created a varnashram dharma, which is based on people's constitutional position or people's mindset. Someone can be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, but not by birth at all. Like a person who is a doctor, his son or daughter, if they want to become a doctor, or they want to proclaim they are doctor, they have to get the medical degree. They can't say that because my father is a doctor, then I'm also a doctor. No, that doesn't work. Similar way, when we talk about these varnas and ashrams, one has to have a qualification to have that. Not by just birth one can say I'm so and so. And that is why Prabhupada gives an example about What Gandhiji brought in here is Harijana, which means everyone is the child of God. Not that you actually not letting, oh, these are low class people, they cannot enter the temple. That is not right. But anyway, the present law is the law of all scripture that if anyone is purified, he can enter into the temple. Actually, that is the position. Only one who is properly initiated, who is properly following the rules and regulation, can enter and touch the deity, not all. So one has to have a qualification, but this is not just based on the birth. One has to prove its qualification. And one who touches the body of the deity following such regulative principles immediately delivered from the contamination of material sins, and all of his desire become fulfilled without delay. Any questions or comments on this one?
No, Prabhu. I'm good.
Very clear. I thought there are going to be some questions on that one.
The deity Prabhuji.
Yeah, because I'll ask you a question. If
Yeah.
somebody cooks at home and brings in the temple that I made it for the Lord, can you offer?
No, Prabhu.
Is it right or wrong?
Uh, unless that person cooked and follow all the rules and regulation. But how
Very
you know that they did?
correct. Correct. Thank you. So there are certain rules and regulation to cook in the temple. At home, when you have deities, you are welcome to offer whatever you cook. But when you come to the temple, there are certain standards to be followed. For an example, one has to be completely clean, just clean in terms of wearing this, but taking a bath, wearing fresh clothes, purifying him or herself with the mantra, and then actually one enters to cook. And after taking a bath, one should not eat or drink because then we become contaminated. And then that person cooks, and then that person, if there is a separate pujari, like in our temple there is a separate person who cooks and there is separate person who does the pujari seva. Even the pujari has to take a bath. He has to purify his body with the mantras, take the achman, and on top of it recite the mantras, and after that he can enter. And from the time he takes a bath until finishes the seva, he cannot eat or drink. So, for an example, if I have a DT dressing seva which starts say from 7:30, so I come to the temple that goes till 10 o'clock, I cannot drink or eat. If I drink or eat or if I use the restroom, then I have to take a bath again because this is so strict. And in fact, it is much more stricter. I don't want to talk about that. But the point why I want to, so there are rules and regulations one has to follow to actually in the temple. It is again, I'll give you another example. Let me give you a story from Jagannath. So, Jagannath ji is offered chappan bhog every few minutes. There was one lady who would cook khichdi for Lord Jagannath, and Lord Jagannath would personally come and eat that. One time, there was one sage who was passing by, and he saw this lady who was cooking. She cooked without even without brushing her teeth. So he said, "Hey, how can you do like that? This is the biggest offense. You should take a bath. You should purify yourself with the mantra. Then you should cook khichdi for the Lord, and then you offer." So next day she followed that, and she became late in offering khichdi. Jagannath came. Jagannath, I'm hungry. Why you're not feeding me? Why you're not feeding me? So she said, "Oh, the sage came yesterday and he told me you should follow the rules and regulations." Jagannath said, "Hell with him. You do the way you are doing. I like it that way." So I have a question for you now based on this. We just now read that not anyone and everyone can actually touch the deity, or even to an extent I explained, which is even in terms of cooking. So is this wrong? What is written in the scripture? Or
No,
the
Prabhu,
other way
that's
is it?
not wrong, but the thought should be pure.
Hmm.
No matter what you cook, like if you follow, say the same thing, like when you say follow ritual or follow um, the the way the other, like the bhakti and all.
Hmm.
But if you just only follow rituals without having bhakti inside,
Hmm.
then it's not Bhagwan will not take it.
Very nice. So you brought up a point that the intention should be devotional versus just doing external things. So I have another question on that. So tomorrow I come, my intentions are very clear. I will not take a bath and I want to go to the temple and I want to enter the altar and I want to do touch the deity's lotus feet. Should I do or shouldn't I do?
I think, Prabhu, as a scripture. We should not do it.
Hmm.
But then I think I don't know how to say it.
Hmm.
The inner calling.
Hmm.
What if your inner calling saying don't touch it? Then
Hmm.
you should not. But I have seen so many other times that
Hmm.
bhaktas and all, they're not pure all the time, but they're still like they're having miracles every now and then. So I think that's the intention, as you mentioned earlier, has to
Hmm.
be pure from within your heart, so nothing can stop.
Okay.
Even,
Very beautiful.
but I think the other step. But as soon as that, even the intention was strong and pure enough, but at the same time, if you think you have a doubt,
Hmm.
that I think that's the time intention gets a little bit of iffy.
Okay. Very beautiful. Naresh Prabhu, you want to add something?
Probably, I think Mataji's covered everything. So it's all based on the consciousness, Prabhuji. Uh,
Okay.
let's say I'm living, in a luxury home and I have all the facilities,
Hmm.
but still, if I don't follow anything, I mean, we need to use our intelligence. Let's say a person who is living in a forest, like Valmiki, right, Prabhuji?
Hmm.
He can offer even meat to God because he doesn't have that consciousness, or but he just have the love towards the Lord. He doesn't know anything back end and front end of the God, like what is the history, who
Hmm.
is he, what is the body, and so he just love the God. That's it.
Okay.
He can offer anything because he doesn't know anything. Uh, Maybe people like us, we know everything, but no, we should not be lazy, right? So we should follow all this stuff.
Yeah. This is great. Before I jump into my point, I want to clarify. We can never offer meat to the Lord, and Lord will never accept the meat. Just want to
Yes,
clarify that because that
sure.
is a big thing. But coming back to one question more on that, she invited Lord Ram, got the fruits. She's putting in her mouth, tasting whether this is proper or not, and then give that fruit to Lord Ram. What you have to say on that part?
It's a love from your heart.
So I have love for God. Can I do that?
Uh, no, I think our love has to be got. It has to go certain level. Otherwise, we
Ah,
are not.
very nice, very nice. All these wonderful. I wanted to bring something more. That's why I just wanted to put these controversial question. There are two kinds of bhakti. One is called as Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means rules and regulation. One has to strictly follow the rules and regulations. And scriptures vividly talk about that. Second type of bhakti is Raganuga Bhakti, which means spontaneous love. What is spontaneous love means? There is no mixture of any mundane thought. Shabri is on that spontaneous loving platform, Raganuga Bhakti. But scriptures will not talk about those Raganuga Bhakti vividly because then the problem is that nobody knows what is inside your conscience. When someone reads like that, they behave, oh, I can offer like Shabri. I can eat my bear and offer to the Lord. I want to taste it before offer to the Lord, whether it is proper or not. But we are are not at that platform. That's an offense. So one should always follow the rules and regulations of scriptures very sincerely for entire life until Lord sanctions that person to actually be on that platform. Because bhakti has two components. One is our endeavor, second is Krishna's mercy. But without endeavor, Krishna's mercy will not come. And when we talk about Vaidhi Bhakti, is following those rules and regulations to give our best until we receive Krishna's mercy. And when one receives 100% mercy of Krishna, that person jumps from Vaidhi Bhakti to Raganuga Bhakti. Until then, these examples should not be followed, or in our case, should never be followed. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
All
Prabhuji.
clear?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Let's read this. Seeing the deity. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the seeing of the devotee of Sri Krishna in the temple. The devotee says there, "My dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavan and sees the deity of Govinda Dev is free from the courthouse of Yamraj and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary systems in which reside the demigods." This means that even an ordinary person who goes to Vrindavan out of just inquisitiveness and by chance sees the temple, especially that of Govinda Dev, even if that person is not elevated into spiritual kingdom, is still assured promotion to the higher planetary systems. This means that simply by visiting the deity of Govinda in Vrindavan, one becomes highly elevated in pious life. That is the power of holy places. Knowingly or unknowingly, even if you sleep one night in Jagannath Puri or Vrindavan, that is equivalent to doing Dandavat Parikrama that period of time. That's why visiting holy places is a very, very important part of our devotional life.
Prabhu, did you say sleep in the temple?
We, we generally don't sleep in the temple unless there is a shortage or any of that stuff. It's not recommended to sleep in the temple, but one sleeps in dham like Jagannath Puri or Vrindavan. That is as good as that period of you are actually doing a Dandavat parikrama. Every walk there is a parikrama.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you. Can we move to the next section?
Sure.
Okay. Observing Aarti and celebrations of the Lord, why we should attend festivals. In the Skanda Purana, there is a following description of result of seeing Aarti, worship of the deity. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Aarti is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reaction coming from many, many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. As we have already explained, there are different ceremonies to be observed, such as the birthday of Krishna or birthday of Lord Ramchandra, birthday of some prominent Vaishnava, the ceremony of Julan Yatra with the Lord sitting on a swing, and Dola Yatra, the Lord's activities in the month of March. In all festival, the Lord is seated on a car and car moves through different streets of the city so that people may take advantage of visiting the Lord. In Bhavishya Purana, it is said in such a ceremony, if even a child or dog eater simply out of curiosity sees the Lord on the card, he becomes counted as one of the associate of Lord Vishnu. Wow. Can you imagine just by seeing the Aarti, just by seeing the Aarti, one can actually eradicate all sinful reaction. You don't have to even go to the holy place to take a bath in Ganga. Just by attending the Aarti and observing that. In the Agni Purana, it is stated any person who in gladness sees the worship of the deity in the temple will obtain the results of Kriya Yoga, which are described in the Pancharatrak scripture, Kriya Yoga is a system of practice much like practical devotional service, but it's specially meant for mystic yogis. In other words, by this gradual process, the mystic yogis are eventually elevated to devotional service of the Lord. Wow. Just even you see on the Rath, Lord Jagannath is being moved, being taken, just seeing the darshan can liberate you, can get you out of the cycle of birth and death. So many hopes actually. So much you can't even imagine. It's like you want to exam, you never prepared on that. You don't have any inclination to go and appear for the exam. The Lord comes to you to say that just mark your attendance here. I will give you 100 marks. Have you seen such exam before? Never. But so many ways Lord gives to actually escape from this material world. What a what a compassion, what a magnanimity of the Lord that gives us so many ways actually to get away with so many sinful activities and come closer to Krishna. So when we this is what I actually wanted to talk specifically, other than covering this topic. This is 2026 years started already. We have no idea if we'll be able to make it till 31st December 2026. It's our responsibility to actually take spiritual life really, really seriously. And these new years are not just for mundane people to take care of vows or taking care of goals, setting up goals and strategy. It is for us also to set up goals. That, my dear Lord, 2025 just passed. 2026 already started, and I have no idea when it will finish and whether I'll be able to make it. My dear Lord, please help me so that my life is driven by just one desire. How can I please you? Give me that intelligence so that I, every nook and corner of my life, every millisecond of my life is filled with your remembrance. Every millisecond I think about how can I come closer to you? What should I do more? How should I do more? How to please you? What should I do to please you? We have to contemplate on that, and we have to set up some goals now, that by 31st December 2026, if I'm alive, my dear Lord, one example could be every morning I want to wake up in Brahma Muhurta and chant my 16 rounds. Or, my dear Lord, I want to take a vow that every day before going to sleep, I will read one page of Krishna book. My dear Lord, by end of this year, I want to finish reading Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, every day I want to make sure I read one page of Bhagavad Gita. So many ways actually you can do it. My dear Lord, I want to take a vow every Ekadashi. I want to chant extra rounds. My dear Lord, I every Ekadashi I want to take a vow. I will double my round 16 to 32. However way you can, but let's set up some goals in life. Otherwise, the life is just drifting from our hand. We have no idea when the death will knock at our door. You remember that interview of Yamraj? That video I shared.
Yes, Prabhu.
Naresh Prabhu, you also remember that video? Hindi video.
Yes, Prabhu.
Imagine if Yamraji decides, rather than coming at the end of the year, oh, you know what, you complain saying that I have been not honest to you. So let's do one thing. Every year, 1st January, I'll come to you and take the inventory that what you have done, what you promised, and how far you have landed. Like that person was answering, just give me one more opportunity. And Yamraj was saying, how do I trust? And he throws the file on the table. Every lifetime you have been doing this for me. How can I trust you will not do it again? Same way, if he says that every year you've been promising, I will come closer to you, Krishna. What have you done? What goals have you set? So I want to open this forum, and I am sorry to put you on the spot, but I really want to hear from you. What is your goal for 2026 to go towards Krishna, and how you're going to measure that goal? Our leader, corporate world, they ask, what are the goals? How are you setting up? What is your individual development plan? So that's what I'm saying. What is your individual devotional plan rather than development plan? Who wants to come out of mute and then say what is the vow we are taking?
Prabhuji. So, uh, what I've been thinking, Prabhuji, but not following. So chanting, right? 16 rounds. So last year, almost, maybe I hardly missed maybe 5 to 10 days, Prabhuji. But
Beautiful.
16 rounds I covered. But those
Wow.
16 rounds, like Prabhuji, not in a consistency, Prabhuji, like morning sometimes to
This is
afternoon.
okay, bro.
To be frank, at the end of the 16th round, I didn't feel like any satisfaction. I did good today, but still, simple, right? Probably in office, right? We attend the stand up every day at 9:30 particular time. We'll be ready, right? Something like that. I want to do that at least 8 rounds. Okay, in the morning, like 6 to 7.
Very nice.
Uh, I want to do that, Prabhuji. That consistency, make it as an habit. That habit is missing, so I just want to achieve that in 2026, Prabhuji. That
Very good.
habit. Yeah.
Very good. Prabhu, imagine what we read today. Even if a sinful person just takes the darshan of the Lord, gets away with all the sinful activities, imagine you chanting 16 rounds. How much Lord will be pleased? Yes, we don't have that interest, we don't have a taste, but we are sincerely trying. That's why I said we are not at the platform of Raganuga Bhakti. We are on the platform of Vaidhi Bhakti. So we have to follow those rules even if we don't like to.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But there has to be some, the love is always from the heart. My dear Lord, I want to do something for you. Like 1 year, I took a vow that I'm going to read Srimad Bhagavatam by end of this year. Because every time I would start from 1 to 3, I will go. Trust me, it took few months to reach there, at least couple of months. And again, the link will break, and again, I'll start from first because I just lost the connection now.
Connection. Okay.
And I had to every time, and I did it 5 times. And that year I took a vow, I'm going to finish Srimad Bhagavatam. So for that year, I decided I'm going to just read the translations. I can't finish the whole purport. I will read the translation, finish it through, come back again with the purport. And that's where I am now.
Even I started Prabhuji Srimad Bhagavatam last year. Last year, in 2025, I just finished the second canto, including the purport. Now I'm reading third canto, part one.
Very good. So set up some goals.
Yeah,
Bimesh Prabhu, who's not there with us now, he's in India. He did fantastic. He finished Bhagavatam.
yeah,
But of course, his situation was different. We may not be in the same situation. But if he finished in few months, we can say, oh, maybe I want to finish up to a certain cantos by end of this year.
yeah,
So
bro.
taking vows, setting up goals, bring us more closer to Krishna because there is a commitment. What's the difference between a boyfriend, girlfriend versus a husband and wife? There is a commitment that I take the responsibility of your life and my life. And similar in devotional life, there has to be a commitment. There has to be a contract sign that I will stay with you forever. So very grateful, Prabhus. Again, didn't want to put you on the spot, but just want to share my gratitude for honestly and thinking about moving again, like moving towards Lord.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you. Mamita Mother, you want to share something?
Yes, Prabhu, the same thing Naresh Prabhu said. I also started and with my japa every day. I got lacked up due to health reasons, some other stuff, but I still wanted to get back in it. Also, um, I'm actually trying to like associate association with other people is little tough here because I don't know people
Mm,
who follow Krishna consciousness.
mm,
So I'm kind of not. My friend circles are gotten really small, and I want to keep it that way
mm,
because that actually demotivates most of the time, and then it's hard. It's not like I get demotivated,
mm.
but it hurts when you follow some certain things and they don't follow and they tell you otherwise. You don't want to get into
Correct.
argument, but either at the
Yeah.
same time I get hurt, and so my goal is stop that from my side. And also I try to visit the temple more often.
Very
uh,
nice.
so at least it doesn't happen every doesn't open every days, but it's like at least once a week. But I will try to go there more often.
Amazing. Very beautiful. Mataji, what you are doing is Krishna is so pleased with you. Srimati Radharani is so pleased with both of you that you are every week attending here. I was just finishing my meeting and I just got 1 minute late and I was just little reluctant. Oh man, I just got late here. And I saw you were already there. So Krishna sees that sincerity. Imagine the situation of Vibhishan. Forget about just not being favorable. That guy was envious to Lord Ram. How did he practice devotional service? How did he remain chaste to Lord Ram? So there is so much hope here. At least our family is supporting, and that way we are able to practice at home. Vibhishan even couldn't do it at home. He has to hide what he was doing. So very, very grateful to both of you with your sincerity and coming here on time and listening Bhagavad Gita classes, these classes, and actually taking very seriously this process of devotional service. Very, very grateful from bottom of my heart, and I sincerely want to offer my prayers at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Nitai Pati Tapana Gaurari and Srila Prabhupada, that they embrace you in embrace you in every moment and every second, and ultimately bring you closer to them in the spiritual world in this lifetime only. Very, very grateful for being with me, tolerating me, listening from a person who himself doesn't have a realization. I just read through these things, but because of you I'm able to practice my devotional service. So I'm very, very grateful, and that's all. I just wanted to end this class with any comments or reflections before we end.
Prabhuji,
Prabhu.
actually, we should say thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. It's because of you. It's a lot of changes within last 2 years, and thanks to you, thanks for the classes and binding us all together with the Krishna consciousness. We are grateful.
We are all family members to help each other. So I'm just supporting as a brother, supporting as however way you put it. It just the idea is to come together and go back to God. That's the whole purpose. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. We will continue next week, the next chapter then.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare